Hey guys, so I just wanted to make a video here on toggling between light and dark mode on your website using Bootstrap classes. So I just have an empty HTML doc here. I'm going to give it a boilerplate. I'm using VS Code, so we can just do exclamation point enter, and it'll give us a little boilerplate. And then I'm going to go ahead and open it with Live Server. This is an addition or an extension to VS Code, and we'll just open it up here in a browser window that we can look at. So I'm just going to title this light, dark mode. And this is just going to be through vanilla JavaScript. So we're just going to use the classes that Bootstrap has. It's a very little bit of JavaScript. Mostly you're just manipulating class names. But I wanted to go ahead and put it out there, just show an easy way to do it. So I'm going to grab the Bootstrap CDN link here. We're not using Bootstrap JavaScript at all. We're just using the CSS. So let's get started here. So I'm just going to make a button. We're going to have a little flow. We're going to have some flow just to show what it kind of looks like. I'll bring in what it's going to look like here. So it's just going to be some dummy text here with a couple of different components, and then we're going to be able to toggle dark and light mode here. So that's what it's going to look like. So let's get started here on our body. We're just going to have a class in the body of a margin top 5 just to push everything down, and then we're just going to start off with a background of light. And these are Bootstrap classes. Everything I'm adding is a Bootstrap class. So then we're going to start off with a div. We're going to give it a class of container, and we're going to give it a class of text center just to push everything in. Oops. Text center. So we have our div here, and this is going to be this is going to surround everything. So we're going to keep everything pushed in from the sides. We're going to keep it in the middle. And we'll just have an H1 here for our button, and we'll have an A tag. And we'll call this toggle dark mode. So we're going to give this a class of btn LG for button large, and then we're going to give it an initial value of BG light and text dark. So that's going to give us our button, and with the class names there, and we'll look at what it looks like in just a second. And I want to give it an ID of toggle just so we can pull it from the DOM in our JavaScript. So as I save, this is uploading, so we have a little button here. Okay, then I'm just going to go ahead and add an HR tag just to break things up a little bit, and we're going to have a section, and inside our section we'll have an H1, and we'll do lorem 10. I'm using just dummy text in VS Code. If you type in lorem, it'll give you, and lorem 10 enter will give you that many number of characters or words. And then under this H1, we're going to do a paragraph, and I'm just going to type in lorem, and that'll give us a big string. And then that's going to end our section there. And we'll do another HR, and then we'll do a few cards just to show the different components you can style like this, and you can do them differently. We'll also make one of the cards toggleable too. We're going to use Bootstrap's grid system. So we'll do a section, and we'll give it a class of row, and we'll give it a class of text dark, and we'll give it a class justify content around, and that'll just make sure there's padding in between our cards so it looks nice. Okay, so inside this section we'll have a div, and we'll give it an ID of card 1 just so we can pull it from the DOM. When I'm just doing # or a period, it automatically assumes div, so we can lay out IDs and class names with this functionality in VS Code. So I'm just going to give that an ID of card1 and a class of card and a class of BG light to start off with, and then we'll just give it a column dash medium dash 5 going off of the grid system from Bootstrap. Okay, so in here we'll have in H1, and we'll give it a class of card title. These are Bootstrap classes. So this will be card title, and I'll just do a lorem 5 here. And then under this we'll do a paragraph tag, and we'll just give it a class of card dash content. And then we'll do a lorem tag here. Okay, and that'll end our div here. So we want 2 cards. So I'll go ahead and pull this down and just give it an ID of card 2. And everything should be the same here. So let's look at our page. So we've got a little page here. It's got a section up here, just a little showcase section. Then it's got 2 cards. These are just 5 column rows out of 12, and we have a little space in between. So we've separated them with an ID so we can pull them out of the DOM. And we'll just set one of these to toggle. Okay. So the only other actual styling I'm going to do is I'm just going to style our HR tags to make them stand out a little bit better. So I'm going to go up here in the head and we'll type in style tags. We're only doing 2 of these. So we'll have an HR and we'll do a background of EEE. And then we'll also do a dot card. So we'll style our cards and we'll just give them a border of solid 1 pixel. And then we'll also do EEE. So they have the border here. So what we're doing when we do this is when we go to dark mode, we're just going to show that there's a border still around them, so it won't just make them floating here. You'll still see each individual card here. Okay, so let's move on to our JavaScript here. At the end of our body, we're going to want to pull in we're going to create some script tags. And inside of our script tags, let's give us a little room here. We're going to get elements from the DOM. So we're going to need a body, which is we're going to change the body classes. And then I'm using document query selector to pull everything off the DOM. And then I'm just going to pull it by its tag name. So we've got body. And then I'm going to need a few more of these. Okay, and we're going to need card 1, and we'll call this by ID card 1. I'm going to need a card 2, and we'll pull this by ID card 2. I'm going to need toggle is going to be called with toggle. So I think that's all we need here. Okay. Under this, we're going to do toggle dot add event listener, and we're looking for a click. And this is going to call a function, and we'll just call our function change background. So what we're doing here, this has an ID of toggle, so we're just pulling the ID for this just so we know what to do. So then we'll create our function, and this is going to be const change background equals, and I'm just going to do an arrow function here, and we're going to pass in our event action here, and I'm just going to console log E to make sure we're getting our event fired. We'll open up our console here, make sure toggle dark mode. Yep, it's giving us our event here, so we don't really need that, but it's great to see that it works. You want to test that to make sure it's working. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to use a class list toggler. So we'll do body.classList.toggle, and then we'll just toggle BG dark for this one, and then we'll do body.classList.toggle, and then we'll do text light. So this will give us our toggle on the whole background and the text, so then you can see also our button formats nicely. The text looks great. The only thing it's not doing is it's not changing these cards, because they are in a section or a card all by themselves, and the cards are done differently. We also gave them a BG of light, so that is going to override everything in there. So we're going to want to make sure we change that too. So let's copy these, and we'll just do card 1, card 1, card 2, card 2, and then we'll just change these to BG dark. Okay, so that should give us the whole toggle on this. And then what we can do here, if we want to change from dark, we can select card 1 dot add event listener, and we can do something like click, and then we'll do change card as our function. So we'll do const change card equals, and we'll just do an arrow function here, and then we'll do grab this, so what we're doing here, we're just changing, same thing, toggle. We're listening for a click event on this card 1, and then we're toggling it just the same. So now you can do this. You can change it in here too as well. So that's it for this one, guys. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to make something like a toggle dark mode. All you're going to have to do is just pick which elements you want to change. If you want to change them all, then just pull them all. And you could do this with styles. There's a lot of videos out there or tutorials where you do them with style. I just thought it would be neat to do them with class names, since Bootstrap gives us the class names we need. That's especially important if you want to keep going with your primary colors or your branding. You can just use the class name instead of coming down here and changing everything in the style. So that's it. Please like, subscribe if you like this, and I hope to be making some more videos. Thanks.